All right, welcome to my page. Good day, my viewers. We are attempting to continue our discussion on the subject who is to be blamed for the situation of our society. Last time we tried to see that there are four institutions that makes a society or build society. The first, which is family. The second, which is education. The third, which is the religion. And the fourth, which is the government. But as I was emphasizing last time, the family is the bedrock. The family is the first church. The family is the first school a child attends. The first government any child knows is the family. So the family seems to be the foundation for it all. And the Bible already told us that if the foundation be destroyed, what would the righteous do? It's a big question that we have to answer. I really want to use this opportunity to really speak to our families. If our society will ever again be good and effective, and if there is going to be any correction, it has to begin in the house, in our various homes. That is where we have to begin from. Permit me to continue from where I stopped as I was teaching the other time. I remember growing up as a young child. Now, as an adult, I can remember a lot of things I learned from my parents. As a matter of fact, it is difficult for me to speak for a long time or try to do something for a long time without remembering one thing my parent, either my mom or my dad, told me as pertaining that thing. But in our days, it's not like that. We live in a generation where parents leave children to be trained by teachers. The same teachers who we are not sure of their own training. We live in a generation where parents leave children to be brought up by nannies, not just nannies, young children who, in an attempt to help from poverty, we bring them to our home and leave our children at their mercy. A generation where children brings up children. And we expect little. Of course, we are going to get what we are getting. Children in our days, young people in our days, for example, are no longer God-fearing. I will wonder why. The truth is not far-fetched. Growing up as a young child, as a Catholic young child, we go for masses then by 6 a.m. We have to be prepared as early as 4:30. At most by 5 a.m. we are done preparing. We'll sit down and wait for our parents to do what? To take their bath and also prepare. Then they join us in the parlor and we all leave the house. We are to come back the same time. And while in church, they are observing carefully to see what we are doing. Now, in our days, what happened? We see that parents leave children at home, telling them, come and join us in church. In an attempt of to be in church on time, not carrying the children along. Now, these young children grow up having no interest in the things of God. And we wonder, because most time when they come back, they find out that those children didn't even go to church and nothing is done. Then we begin to wonder, what is the cause of the rate of the ungodliness we see in our society? It is still from the home. The pastor is not going to bring the children out of the house. It will take the parents to bring them from the house to the church where they will be trained. And that is just one. In growing up as a young child, I can also remember that my mother had the time to pay attention in a busy schedule, in quote, to pay attention to what I'm doing in school. My mom is not very educated, but she ensured that the necessities are not exempted in my daily schedule. But today, what happens? Our parents don't have time. So we don't even pay attention to what the child is doing in school, and we don't even pay attention to what the child is doing in church. These two institutions have a very strong effect to the growing of a child. The religious institution helps us to build godliness, while the academic institution helps us to build morals, societal ethics, and intelligence, as we may say at large. But we don't monitor what the children do. Children go to school, we send them to school, they return. with characters that we can't even write about. And most of the times, to show you how careless we have been in our homes, before parents begin to dictate some of these character, they have become part of the child. And to show you how far parents have failed, you see that a child goes to school, the child is corrected by the teacher, a parent comes to school to fight on behalf of the child. And tomorrow, the child himself will do more because he knows that when he goes home to tell the parent will come back to school to fight for him or her. Now, the educational institution being privatized in our time also help now to contribute to the decadence in such a way. Not because they really want to, but because their hands have been tied. Since the private institution is more of a business than for impact as we see it now. They try to secure their name, they try to protect their interest because every business is for benefit and profit. So they want to profit. As a matter of that, so when parents come to school to fight, you see most educational sector, instead of correcting the parent, ends up appealing to the parent, then they sack the teacher. Another teacher who sees that child and saw what happened, because he does not want to lose his job, since it is his source of living. Even when the child is going astray, everybody now fold hands and watch. And parents, hear me. You will think you are doing right by pampering this child, by building system of safety around them, safety now in quote, I use the word better still, correction and protection. The child you fail to train today will bring you pain and strain tomorrow. As a matter of fact, it is easier to build up men, to train up a child, or to bring up children than to repair broken men. I repeat, it is easier to build up children than to repair broken men. Psalm 127 verse 3, 4, and 5 said, children are a gift from the Lord, the fruit of the womb. Children are a heritage from the Lord. The fruit of the womb is a gift from the Lord. And the Bible speaking in verse 4 and 5. Happy is the man who have these children enough in his quiver. The Bible said they are like arrows in the quiver, that they will confront the enemy at the gate. Not every child will confront the enemy at the gate, except the one that have been properly brought up. What is the general enemy of every man? The general enemy of every man is old age. Whether you like it or not, no matter how immune you are, you cannot be immune against old age. Now, when old age comes as an enemy, it takes a responsible child to help you confront that enemy at the gate. Why at the gate? So that they will not even have the access to get to you. Now the question is, woe betides that parent whose children are not responsible, whose children are not well brought up. When the enemy comes, you will not have arrows to confront this enemy, and you will be defeated. Now you wonder, Papa is 70 years old. Papa has children that are doing very well, but Papa is a security man. What happened? Papa didn't sharpen his arrow on time, and now there are no arrow to defend Papa in his old age. The same thing with Mama, the same thing with every one of us. So I want to admonish us until we begin to go back again to our homes and begin to nurture our children. Remember, our children are a reflection of the home they are coming from. I pray that God Almighty will help us to really build our home. In our next meeting, I'll be talking so much on the role of the mother as far as bringing up a child is concerned. Thank you for joining us. I believe that this video will bless you. I will not forget to also encourage you, please continue to love and to share. Like our videos, share them, that together we can transform our society. Thank you. I remain Apostle John Clement, the convener of God's Revival Movement. God bless you.